Let's meet the stars for your Pacers. Starting at shooting guard, at 6'6", number 12, J.R. Smith. Small forward, standing 6'8", number 8, Rudy Gay. Starting at center, standing 6'11", number 43, Karl Anthony Towns. At the other forward position, 6 feet 7 inches, number 23, Brad. At the other guard position, at 6'3" number 20, Stephen Curry. Your home team head coach is Frank Vogel. Make some noise for your Pacers.
Welcome, everyone, to this 2K Sports broadcast of the Pacers live from Indianapolis, Indiana. Pacers trying to take advantage of their home court in this one before leaving Indiana. They can secure their spot in the postseason with a victory here.
And nothing better than when you can fit the system and the talent. I mean, win after win. I tell you, what this is telling me is the team is playing with tremendous confidence.
Unstoppable right now, Greg. I mean, I don't know how long the streak's going to continue, but the important thing is that they're stacking up wins, and they seem to be getting better and better, which is scary for the rest of the league.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. And so in the game for the Hawks, we've got Jared Dudley. Chris Middleton is out there with Chris Paul. Then there's DeAndre Jordan. And it's Fry in at the power forward position. Curry lays it in without an inch of room around him.
Well, I tell you, last season was a big one for the Hawks and Coach Budenholzer. Their dominant season won him multiple Coach of the Month titles, and eventually he won the Coach of the Year award.
Now, here's Fry. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Paul kicks to Jordan. 6 on the shot clock. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. Here's Indiana. Curry with it. A good portion of the scoring has come from him. He averages more than 18 points a game. Green kicks to Curry. And there's the pass to Towns. And he dunks it down.
Excellent feed from Steph Curry.
Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Ball against Curry. And it's Paul penetrating. The putback, and DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
And the offense, I mean, 3 of 4, a solid start for this game.
Here's Curry. Scored the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
And early on, they looked great. They've made all 4 of their shots to start this game.
Curry against Paul. Over in the corner, Dudley. From the arc. It's rebounded by Indiana. And here we go. Fast break. Curry's got it. Here's Smith. No luck. Paul with the defensive effort.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Middleton dishes to Paul. And here's Fry from the arc. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 3 assists tonight. Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
Can you believe there have been 7 lead changes already?
Wow.
And it's still in the first half. This could be a wild one.
Atlanta's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. last season, Atlanta showed just how much fun a team can have playing team basketball, complete team effort. We use that word a lot. You don't see it much in the NBA, but boy, they epitomized it, Clark.
Yeah, they sure did. Refreshing to see a team do that well collectively without a real superstar. Just a solid group that understood their roles and played them perfectly.
And, folks, it's not like the Hawks didn't have talent. I mean, they did have 4 All-Stars last year. None of them voted in, however.
Now here's Paul. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Dudley against Gay. Middleton outside. Three-pointer. Green with the rebound.
You know, what shows you just how team-oriented the Hawks were last season was this stat. They never had anybody score more than 30 points for them in a game all season. Millsap had 30 points once early in the year, and that was the high mark for the team.
Towns with the steal. Knocked loose, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Gay.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
And some changes here for the Pacers. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Gay. Andre Robertson comes in for J.R. Smith. And it's Kyle Lowry in for Curry. And then for Atlanta, JaVale McGee's checked in for Jordan. Reza comes in for Jared Dudley. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Chris Middleton. Just 5 on the clock. From deep. The shot will not go. And Indiana will come the other way. Lowry kicks to Green. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
And just a step ahead of the D in that nice assist.
Paul goes in. Here's McGee. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. And some changes here for the Pacers. Joel Embiid comes in for Towns. And Shumpert in there for Green. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Channing Frye. And for JaVale McGee, what was once such a promising career is now, Clark, I think, kind of at a crossroads.
Yeah, you know what? He is capable of being a major rim protector and rebounder, but I think teams are getting a little bit impatient with him because he's just not mature to the point that you would have expected.
Barnes kicks to Embiid. Here's Paul, and it's blocked. And it's out of bounds for the Hawks as Atlanta retains possession. So it's Atlanta now. Ariza outside. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Shot clock at 5. Atlanta again missing.
And for McGee, it looked like he had taken a positive step last year when it was announced he would sign with Boston. The front office even came out and sang his praises. Then negotiations fell apart and McGee didn't play again for the rest of the season. Another in a long line of disappointments over his career.
Paul left side. Count that one. Paul's got his second basket of the night.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Lowry drives in, and that's going to do it. Some good defense down the stretch to end the quarter. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Hawks ahead. They lead by 4. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. And certainly an intriguing matchup tonight. Let's hear from Trevor Ariza on his team's mentality coming in.
You're playing against a team that is very scrappy. You know, they want to win as well. You got to
Ariza might as well be describing his own game, Clark. Scrappy, ready to play, ready for anything, ready to claw to get that win.
Well, you know, he does have that kind of all-around, all-out game going back to his days at UCLA. I mean, when you combine that with his talent, he's a guy who, no matter where he's been, his teammates rave about him and respect him.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And for the Hawks, guys, what stands out to you stats-wise?
I just think that from an intensity standpoint, their defense has really been the key. It's been the catalyst as they've been able to disrupt their opponent's offense.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been much more intense defensively. And their defense not only has been intense, but it's been swarming and saran wrap-like.
Lowry out there with Iman Shumpert. Then there's Rudy Gay. Then there's Draymond Green. And it's Embiid in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Here's Dellavedova. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. The 3, another 3 for Atlanta.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Let's face it, the defense is a step slow. You've got to take away the airspace.
Lowry passes to Embiid. Good. Embiid's got 4 points now in the quarter.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spots. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
There's the pick. Dellavedova dishes to Dudley. Fry with the ball. Working on Green. And Middleton kicks to Fry. It's stolen by Green. Jumps up. And the dunk by Smith.
That's how you make it happen, guys. Ball pressure and then a run-up.
And that's how you flip the script in terms of momentum right there.
Here's Dellavedova. Now recovering. Dellavedova, the pass to Jordan. Jordan with the screen on Lowry. Pocket 4, Fry. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dellavedova. Fry's got 5.
A much better quarter for them shooting the ball.
Anytime your field goal percentage is in the high 50s part.
Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Dudley dishes to Dellavedova. Feeds to Jordan. Towns with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Curry's got it. It'll go down, and the Hawks lead is cut down to just 4 points with a bucket from Gay.
And that's how you take the steal and turn it into a transition opportunity.
I think that's the perfect time to do it, Greg. I mean, those few seconds after the turnover, strike right away because the defense has no chance to get organized. And, you know, the Pacers had made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off of back-to-back conference finals appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Yes, guys, Mike Budenholzer had some words for his team. He wants them running a disciplined, organized offense with an emphasis on setting screens and creating open shots on the floor for their shooters. He said also that their offense needs to be a patient one. He told them, don't rush things. Use as much of that shot clock as you need to. So, Kevin, change is already being made on the fly here in the second quarter.
And as always, Doris, thank you.
And really, it's going to be more of a reload than a rebuild situation for the Pacers. You would have to imagine their goal isn't just to get back to the playoffs, but to get back to being a conference final participant.
Here's Dellavedova, currently averaging almost 6 points a game, and Steph Curry with the foul. That's his first foul. Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. And it's Jordan with the jam.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Now here's Curry. He has 6. Gay outside. It's deflected. here in the second quarter. Just under 3.5 minutes played. And Fry kicks to Middleton. Three-pointer rounded by Towns. Here's Gay, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. And no question, G.A., Rudy Gay is one of those guys who has always put up great numbers, but in 9 seasons he's been in the league, only one playoff. Only one. Count him, one. Back in 2012.
What if he was still in Memphis, though, Kevin? I mean, that's one of it. Sometimes it's not always your fault that you're not getting there.
True.
You've got to play on a good enough team, and he hasn't up to this point. So, yeah, he's had his moments of inconsistency and will disappear at times. So there's some shared blame there as to why he hasn't been more consistent when it comes to the postseason.
Ramon Shumpert is checked in for the Pacers. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Atlanta. Ball outside. That ball is in the basket. Now he's shot 6 and made 3 of them.
And, you know, back to Rudy Gay, he's a tremendous all-around talent. Physically, instinctively, skill-wise, he's got it all. Except that consistent winning touch, that remains to be complete.
Atlanta with the ball after the miss from Stephen Curry. Rush gets the bucket.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
They set the pick. Curry kicks to Towns. Rush with the steal. Knocked loose. To the inside. Over.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play.
If you're waiting for him to miss when he's that open, you're going to be in for a long wait.
52 seconds left in the first half. The dish to Towns. Rebounded by McGee.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Paul with the ball. And Curry picks him up defensively. Pass to Roberson. And he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
And if that doesn't get him fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
And so it's Atlanta with it, following the score by Indiana. Shot and game clock separated by 5. They set the pick. Paul passes to McGee. Hawks passing it around. Shot clock at 6. Paul goes in. Paul missing again. On the wing, Shumpert. He hits the shot at the very last second.
Goodness! The pressure on him in those circumstances was massive.
Man, what pressure? You guys are over-exaggerating here. I mean, you can't rattle this guy, no matter what the situation is.
And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. Hawks lead by 3. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Guys, I'm here with Steph Curry. And Steph, what has the problem been defensively?
We're a step late, I think. And, they made tough shots. We can't take away from that. But for the most part, we have to find a way to guard that line if they're knocking down shots to keep them out the game.
Steph, thanks for the time. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Doris, for that interview. And we'll see you back here after the break for the third quarter of basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. A competitive matchup for Atlanta in the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. They didn't stop fighting in the second quarter as they maintained most of their first quarter lead and now lead by 3 at the break. Kenny, what was your take on Atlanta?
Well, they were lighting it up from 3, and that was the difference in the first half. They did a good job of running off screens, spotting up, and getting rid of the ball quickly. And their shot selection, solid.
Shaq, your take on Indiana?
they need to turn up the defense intensity. They let the game get taken to them instead of the other way around. Coming out in the second half, they got to play with a chip on their shoulder, Ernie. You know, don't get pushed around on D. It's payback time.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get...
And now, let's get it. Go.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third. Without question, Chris Middleton displaying his skills today.
He created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
And that led to a very high points per shot number for him. For those of you that are into analytics, that stat really tells how efficient a player has been, and he's been very efficient so far.
And so in the game for the Hawks, Jared Dudley out there with Channing Frye. And it's Chris Paul. Then it's Chris Middleton. And it's Jordan in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Last season for Chris Paul, another strong season. He had plenty of form in terms of media hype. He was as strong as ever on the court and off the court.
And that's a great point. You know, he did kind of fly under the radar. It's hard to imagine the first team Hall of Famer in the future could do that, but a lot of it had to do with Steph Curry kind of coming on to the scene, splashing on the scene, if you will. But he is still one of the top point guards in our league.
Now here's Paul. After the miss from Karl Anthony Towns. Paul against Curry. Outside for Jordan. The feed now to Paul. Not enough on that one as it misses.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
Looking at the last game for the Atlanta Hawks, it was a loss to New York. And Steph Curry with the foul. And here in the second. Paul gets to Middleton. Good, and Paul gets the assist. 13 points for Chris Middleton.
Great way to start the half. Easy layup against some soft D.
Pass to Towns. And again, Hawks lead.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
Middleton against Smith. Passes it to Towns. Retain possession.
Yeah, that's a super defensive play. If that gets through, no...